All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah from Sarah's Reading Nook, which you're obviously on right now. So today we are going to do. From Sarah's Reading Nook, which you're obviously. Sorry, I still don't know how to host yet. So we are going to do reading sprints today. So that is really exciting. We have so much reading that we need to get done, myself and Olivia, obviously. And I am joined by several of my good bookish friends. So I'm just gonna say, let's just go around, say who we are, and then just say, what you're going to be reading today, and maybe just something fun, what your favorite fall drink is. Oh, so I'm Sarah, and this is the book I'm reading, which is a continuation from yesterday. So this is The Night She Disappeared by Lisa Jewell. It's a thriller, and it's super, super good. Oh, hi, Shannon. Hi, Olivia. Or hi, hi, Shannon. I still can't read, apparently. And hi, Bill Streets.
Hi, Em.
And my favorite fall drink is apple cider. It's my fave.
So, Sarah, are you reading thrillers in preparation for spooky season?
Oh yeah, and I feel like I'm getting in there, you know?
Yeah.
Have you read any other Lisa Jewell books before?
Yes, I read Then She Was Gone.
Yes.
And I loved it, but honestly, I'm loving this one even more. So
Really?
yeah, I'm this amount done. So I think I'm a little bit over 50% now, but it's the type of book you just open and you read and you have no idea how much time has passed. It's just the best kind of book so far. It still could let me down, but it's good so far.
That's good to know. Yeah, she's an author I've always wanted to pick up from. I've heard good things.
Oh yeah, she's really, really, really good.
Just added it to my TBR.
Stephanie?
Okay, my name is Stephanie. My channel is Stephanie's Bookverse, and I am probably going to be doing schoolwork on our breaks. But if I decide to read, I will be reading Dune. So, yes. Have you finished it, Angela?
No.
Okay.
No. I got distracted by Gatsby and Chosen and the Beautiful, so I put a pause on it because I was like, well, I'm interested, so let's just finish them while we got them.
No, that's awesome. I just saw you finished Gatsby. I was like, oh my gosh, she's already finished Dune and Gatsby. I'm so behind on all of our buddy reads.
No, I have not finished Dune at all.
Okay, that makes me feel better because I'm restarting it at this point. So I forgot everything.
Honestly, I have been going back and rereading stuff as I learn more and understand it more. So I feel like it's gonna take a while to get through this because of the joy of getting to go back and understand things more deeply too. So
yeah,
no, I'm slow too.
Good. That makes me feel better because I am not reading a lot right now. So
can we see that beautiful cover real quick again? Look at that. Can you show that again?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is just the side, but do you want me to go get the real cover?
You don't have to if you want to. I just thought that was pretty on the side.
No, I do.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and it has colored edges.
What? Where'd you get this one from?
I ordered it on Amazon.
Oh my gosh. That's beautiful.
I know. So here's what the cover looks like. And I love it so much. You can't tell super well, but it's just oh, it's gorgeous. And then it has this really pretty on the inside of the dust jacket art too.
Oh, wow. That's super pretty.
It is so pretty. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to show you all the features right now. It has you can't see it, but it has writing on here. It says fear is the mind killer, which
nice.
But then the end papers are super gorgeous too. I know.
You
I
might
didn't
have
even
to
know when I
link me
bought
this
it.
book version because like I have the paperback and I might need that.
It's so stunning. It's one of my favorite books. I'm just like, you're so pretty.
I like want that book now for like aesthetics.
Yes,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
should. Even if you don't read it, it's just gorgeous.
So nice.
Oh, and I also like hot apple cider for fall drinks.
I'm
Angela?
Angela. My channel is Angela Rose Reads, and I am gonna keep reading The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nevo. I don't have the beautiful cover, but it's beautiful. Sarah
Sarah's
has
like,
it.
I
Yeah.
do.
I
Yeah.
have it somewhere.
Close. I remember you grabbing it close by yesterday. But it's beautiful. And I don't honestly really have a favorite fall drink. I just drink the same stuff I drink year round, but warm coffees and teas and stuff. The warm things. I think I transitioned from the cold to the warm drinks.
Do you use like a fall creamer?
I'm a ride or die for hazelnut. I just use hazelnut all year, so not really. And I don't really enjoy the taste of pumpkin. In the winter, I love hot chocolate, but
Yeah.
not quite yet in the fall. So
You
I
could-
mostly do drinks or like snacks for fall. I love like snickerdoodles. I've already made snickerdoodles, stuff like that. That's what I like is the snacks in fall time.
Ooh, I just saw a recipe for like oh wait, I was gonna say pumpkin
I'm
snickerdoodle.
sorry.
You were like, never mind.
I wish I did because that would be such a nice tradition. Like, oh, pumpkin spices are back and stuff. But basically anything with cinnamon and nutmeg, I'm sold.
Is it me? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Hi, I'm Kristen. My channel is Perks of a Book Flower, and today I'm reading a book that's starting off like my fall reads. It's We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. It's really nice and atmospheric so far, and hopefully it'll stay that way. I mean, just look at the cover. It's like perfect for October probably, but I couldn't wait or help myself, so I'm reading it now. And I am, I guess, as basic as it gets when it comes to fall drinks. I love a good pumpkin spice latte, extra pumpkin and cinnamon, please.
Yeah, I think there's something about like this time right now, and like I've been talking about this so much. It's just like it comes to September and it's just like spooky season. It's like it's already there, fall, pumpkin spice, everything. Can't help ourselves.
I know.
Bridget?
Okay. So, my name is Bridget. My channel is Bridge M Books, although haven't been very active on there recently. And fun fact, today is actually my birthday. So
Happy birthday!
I thought I would just share that. And I just finished a thriller. I wish I had another spooky book. But right now I am trying to make my way through 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, which is definitely a tome of a book, and it's very confusing. I've been reading it for a while. It's like a multi-generational book about a family, and the main issue is that they keep on like naming all their children like after each other, and so it gets really confusing. But I have a goal to finish it by the 12th of September. So I'm hoping to make my way through that. And then as far as drinks, I'm an herbal tea person, and I think I don't really have a fall flavor that I like. I will drink chamomile tea all year round. I think that's my favorite.
I'm loving this one. It's I'm drinking this one. It's an apple cider chamomile. It's so good. I didn't think it would be really good, but it actually is really good. They complement each other, thankfully.
I'll have to try that. I will do anything chamomile.
Sorry, Kristen?
No, I was just wondering, Bridget, if you like chai, do you consider that herbal?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever tried like a chai tea before. Do you like them?
Yeah, there's this like vanilla chai tea, and I just drink it like black without any kind of milk or anything, and I love it. And
Oh,
it just
really?
it tastes like fall in a cup. It's like I think it's just the Bigelow brand is the kind I get. It's
Mm-hmm.
so good.
I was
Oh,
gonna
that
say
sounds really, really good.
I didn't think about it for fall because I've been drinking it all year, but like you know the little cartons of Tazo chai
Yeah.
latte? It's by like the coffee section. I just buy tons of those and then just mix in almond milk and like it's a chai latte and you can taste because I really like it to have the spice and the Tazo you can taste a hint of that spice. It's not like purely sweet. So the Tazo chai lattes are just all year round, but especially in the fall.
So, yeah, that's like
Mhm.
Sounds
perfect for fall.
delicious.
Chai, yes. Chai's amazing.
Chai is so good. Laura?
Hi, me. Oh, yeah. I am Laura. My channel is Laura Reads Pages, but I haven't been on there for the last like month and a half, but I'm gonna get back to it very soon because I just moved from Halifax to Ottawa. So I've been here 3 days. I just moved into my new place. I won't show you now because it's kind of a mess, but um, yeah, so I should be started again soon. And I'm reading Wuthering Heights, which is kind of spooky. You know, it's a ghost story, so it kind of works. I started it in mid-August, but I haven't because I've been busy moving and I've been, yeah, just getting things done. I haven't read a lot, so I read some of it in August, and I'm going to try to pick that up again. I'm also listening to The Great Gatsby on audiobook in preparation of reading for reading. What's it called?
The
Chosen and the Beautiful.
Thank you. The Chosen
Yeah.
and the Beautiful. So yeah, and when I got here, I was here a day and a package came for me, and it was my boyfriend who sent me an illustrated Harry Potter. So it was so nice. I was like, what a nice package. I just arrived here. So I also have that because I've just been enjoying like going through the different threads. And oh my goodness, they're so gorgeous. I want to find one that I really liked. But yeah, the other drinks, I don't drink coffee because I have sleep problems that I'm still trying to figure out. And so I like chai lattes with lots of cinnamon on top. But I also just drink a lot of tea, or like actually in Nova Scotia, I don't know if it's just my family, but I think in Nova Scotia in general, people drink a lot of just like English breakfast tea. So I drink a lot of tea, but especially when the weather starts getting colder. I can't find this picture I want to show you, but at some point I will. Oh, this one's great.
Oh, yeah.
I also one, but anyway. Yeah, so that's what I am reading today.
Very nice.
I'm just proud of you for being in such a good state after a move like that.
Yeah.
I ordered an IKEA bed, and I don't know why, but I was just like, yeah, I'll be able to assemble it, no problem. Like I've never worked with my hands in my life, and so it got here, and I went out and bought myself an electric drill and a hammer, and it was slow, but I put together this bed. Let's see if I can show you. So, and it's like drawers and stuff.
Looks solid.
So yeah, so I've been busy.
That's like, I love putting together furniture because like afterwards you feel so accomplished. Like after you put together like furniture, have you ever done it without the instructions?
I could not do it without the instructions. I was very proud of myself for doing it with the instructions.
It's wild. It's wild and it's a very big risk, and I do not recommend it.
IKEA in particular is hard without instructions.
Sarah,
There's a bookshelf.
At my new house, my roommate has a cat too. Billy, come here.
Oh my gosh. Kitty.
Oh,
Aw, hello, kitty.
So cute. That
Cute.
face. So
Yeah.
adorable.
And she's actually like the most friendliest cat I've ever met. You call her name and she comes like a dog, and like you go into the house and she comes and greets you at the door. She's very, very sweet.
Oh, that's so incredibly
I
adorable.
love
Yeah,
that.
so now I'm part of the cat club.
You're part of the cat crew.
Yeah.
Yes. We're always recruiting.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to get my own cat because they are great.
Yeah, they're
Anyway.
the bee's knees.
My cat's on the other side of the room. Maybe. Oh, here she comes. I might have to grab her because she's coming over. Nope, she's gonna lay on my brand new warm shirt out of the dryer, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, they're
Warm
the best for
laundry.
cats.
They're gonna cuddle.
They're the best, and also like dark clothes as well. Cats love to go on dark clothes, and their fur loves to go on dark clothes as well.
Mhm.
I would say so.
I have
Yeah,
a white
so
cat, so I had to make a rule. I have a white cat. I have two cats. One of them's white, and because of that, I had to make a rule that I cannot have any black clothing at all because it was just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
yeah. So I wanted to ask you guys. So there's like lots of readathons that are going on. And Stephanie, does yours start soon?
Tomorrow. Yeah, so
Tomorrow.
it's actually Sophia. She's been doing it like frequently. Yes, Shardathon. This is actually the fourth round of it. Last round was like the first era Mistborn themed. This round is second era Mistborn themed, and she's like, "Do you want to be a co-host?" And so that's how I ended up being able to join in. But I like that it's so simple. Really, it's like the prompts are so easy. Like you could probably fit one book to almost every prompt except like one. So like I don't know. I think it's easy for people who want to be a part of a readathon but don't want to commit to that intenseness that is some readathons.
I like how the
Yeah.
questions are like, "What are you most excited about?" Like, what's
Mhm.
stuff like that. That's a good one.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can read what you want to.
How did you become a part of it?
So I'm actually doing a Cosmere read along with Sophia and Joanna and Abby and a bunch of other people. And this is Cosmere themed. So we had just been doing a bunch of stuff on there. Yeah. So those are the prompts for it. Hey,
They're
that's
like,
mine, isn't it?
is that your video? Yeah, I might have prepared it just for
Look
you
at you
to
go. I am so
talk
impressed.
about.
This
Because
is
I
like
was like, you
like
should
presentation
definitely
for
promote
work.
this.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wait,
yeah.
why am I linked? Oh, I watched that because you were talking about our buddy Reed. Okay, I
Yes.
remember now.
I talked about our buddy Reed of the Great Gatsby in there.
Yeah, it's like a book you think you should read, all of them, a book you think you'll have fun reading, a book outside your comfort zone, a book within your comfort zone, so outside and inside, and then a book you're excited to read. So that's like definitely doable.
Right. So, and you can double up on prompts if you want to. So it's like you can make it really easy for yourself, or you can make it super hard and do all of them, like whatever type of readathon person you are. So,
And then
yeah.
there's some others too. So are you doing Becca's Bookopoly-a-thon as
I'm
well?
doing all three of them. Well,
Mhm.
I'm attempting to do all three of them. It's probably not going to happen, honestly. But
And is anyone else doing readathons?
I'm doing Shardathon and the Magical Readathon.
Nice.
I still
Nice.
haven't decided about the magical readathon, but I know that you can like be really flexible with that one. So maybe.
you can only do 2 prompts, so
Yeah.
it's pretty easy. And one of them I think is like the top of your TBR or something like that. So it's pretty much a free pick anyways. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that they're definitely doable. And then there's some readathons that are coming up. So Shannon would know about one of these. So Grinchathon is in December, and it's done
makes
by
sense.
my friend Izzy. So it's a lot of fun to do. I don't think she's announced if she's doing it yet, but she does it sometimes in like the summer and in December. So I'm hoping to do that one. Even though like I love Christmas like a lot. So um but it's nice to be a Grinch. And then there's the sweater weather readathon, and that's one that's being done by my friend Abigail as well, and also Liv's Library and Zoe Reads as well.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna try to do the sweater weather readathon. I
Is
just
that in
like.
October?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's in October.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in October 21st to 27th.
Oh, that's really
And
short.
yeah, it's just like a short readathon, and they do have some prompts. Yeah.
They seem kind of cozy and fun. One's like read a book that has orange on the cover, read a book that has like a fall word or something.
Yeah, read a book with orange on the cover,
Oh,
read a book
man.
that takes place during fall, read a book in a format you don't typically read a book with the word fall in the title, and then read a backlist. So published before 2021.
Word fall in the title. That's
Yeah,
hard.
with fall in the title.
Fall of
Yeah.
the House of Usher. There you go.
I wonder if you could cheat and just use the
Thank
letters.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I basically I have this like little timer that we can use. And so if you guys want to do the first sprint, that would be great. So I guess get your books or get your like notes or do your productivity stuff. And I'm going to get that set up for you guys.
See if I can steal my cat. Here, baby.
I'm trying to like.
Like I made my own timer and it has like Olivia like all around it.
That's amazing.
So like
Here's my kitty.
Hi, kitty.
Aw, hi, kitty.
She doesn't wanna. You wanna cuddle? You wanna leave me? Okay, that works.
let's so Sarah, I have a question about the sweater weather readathon. How do you read like 5 books in a week? Good question. Good question. I think that what would probably be the best to do is do either like a 24-hour readathon and try to get through that many or something, or just like double up on prompts. So like maybe read a orange book with the word fall in the cover that was published before 2021, like those sorts of things. And then I think that it would probably work the best to do it probably that way.
Yeah, I agree. It's really rare that I ever actually meet all of the prompts in any readathon, but the funnest part is just making the TBRs and having the community and getting more reading done than you normally would.
Yeah, and the whole the whole atmosphere of it as well. Just like to know that you're reading with like friends, and also that, that you're reading during the fall and you have a community like Kristen said. I think that really helps. Oh, Shannon says, I always sneak in a graphic novel, poetry, etc. Yes, to all of that. I agree. Or kids' books. I do that too. There's a lot of really good, like children's books, like middle grade books that like are really good and constantly like being published. Or there's a whole like big reservoir of like kids' books, and they're definitely accessible. Because Abigail basically chose 5 books, and I can barely read a book in a month. Yeah, I know. I'm impressed by Abigail. I definitely am. Yeah, so I hope that you'll think about doing it, and yeah. Okay. All right, so we got the timer up. And just like we had done before, we'll just mute our mics and then read for 30 minutes, and then I'll kind of come in and say that the 30 minutes have elapsed. Okay, ready? And go. Hello.
Hello.
So, how did your reading go? I just left on like a moment where everything is just, I feel like there are so many like parts of this book where I just get to and there's like another secret revealed and it just like blows my mind. How about you
That's
guys?
good. Oh, well, I did step away for a little bit because it is the golf FedEx Cup Tour Championship. Yes, that's what it's called. And so it's like the final big golf tournament. And so I watched the last 2 holes with my husband because I've been cheering for this one guy for the last like 2 weeks and he won. So that was exciting. And
Oh,
then I
really?
did schoolwork.
Do you play golf?
I do not play golf. My husband.
But you like to watch it?
My husband likes to watch it a lot. So I'll
Oh,
watch it
okay.
with him because he's huge into golf. Like he loves it so
Gotcha.
much. So yeah.
I read more of this, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's one of those books that I think I tried to start it a lot of times, and I just could never get into it. And also, like, I've heard that none of the characters are very likable, so I never really wanted to read it. But then I read like the first few chapters aloud, and I read them more than once. Like I think I read it and then read it again immediately, and that sort of like got me into it. And yeah, so now I'm definitely into it.
Good.
But I wasn't at an exciting part or anything. Yeah.
So, are the characters unlikable?
Yeah.
It's not bothering me yet. They're not likable, but they're also like understandable, I guess. Like you can realistic maybe. It's another.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
And not like without like redeeming features. Like you still sort of like feel sorry for them, even though so far. But I don't know if it'll continue like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You must have read it. Have you, Stephanie?
I have actually read it. Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I personally don't like it, but I feel like I don't like books where I don't like any of the characters. Like, I got to have a little bit of something that I can like. And I didn't like any of them. I'm like, y'all are so annoying and whiny and just mean. Like, what is wrong with you?
Well, that's why I didn't read it, because I usually don't. Like, I hadn't read it for, like, even though I've been tending to read it, but I could never, like, pick it up, because I don't really like that either. But I'm only 100 pages in, so we'll see what happens.
I know a lot of people love it, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just, it didn't work for me.
I wonder how I'll find it, because I'm still on, like, a lot of what I read was an account of their childhood and stuff. So you can sort of sort of felt for them, the kids,
Yeah,
even though
kids.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
That actually like makes me feel intrigued. I really like unlikable characters.
Yeah, maybe this would be great
has a
for
lot
you.
of them.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know, and I'm not that far into The Great Gatsby, but I feel like that's made up of unlikable characters too. Is that right, or is that
there's
not
some
inaccurate?
characters that are totally unlikable and that I just cringe thinking about now. One in particular, I could not stand that character.
I think I know who you mean.
Probably. I don't even really like Gatsby, so.
No,
yeah.
I mean, I already said this, but any Lord of the Rings fans, Sean Astin, who's plays Samwise Gamgee, he narrates a version of The Great Gatsby, and because of him, I listened to the whole thing in a day. And like I tried to go back to it because I had bought the book, or it was like a used book. I looked and it was actually like I showed a picture. It was like a 70s.
Yeah, it's the Robert Redford
movie
cover.
Yeah. And I looked at it and it
Yeah.
said, "This is not for sale in America." So the person that donated it must have brought it from the UK. It said,
That's so weird because
yeah, it's really
am
weird.
I
It's
wrong,
from
or
the
is Robert
70s.
Redford American?
Yeah, it was
I
just
thought
a
so. Like,
it
am I
was just a
crazy?
70s book, what would you call it when they put the movie cover on the book?
Yeah, the movie cover.
And
Mhm.
yeah, and so basically, like, I would argue that there really isn't any likable characters in it. I really didn't like it, but, like, Sean Astin was the only like, he made me, like, wanna read it because he does great voices and just his voice in general is fantastic, but, um, yeah, I didn't like it either. But this one, The Chosen the Beautiful,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so happy we get to talk to the author because I don't like to use the word obsessed because it's overused, but, like, I love this so far. I This is exactly my type of book with magic thrown in and, like,
Yeah, I've
the
heard the
fact
magic
that
system is really interesting.
it's so neat. Like, it doesn't
Yes.
go into any detail about it. It's just like, "Oh, this stuff exists in this
Oh,
world," and, like, that's
really?
exactly what
Interesting.
I like. Like, it's not like a magic
Yeah.
system, it's just like, "Oh,
Mm.
there's magic here," and I'm like, "Yes, that's my
Oh, I'm
exact
so excited
brand."
to read that now.
Yeah,
Thank you
And
for
I
that.
I
but
think that
you
the
should
magic, like,
read.
complements it
Exactly, and it
really,
makes
really
his
nicely.
party. Could you imagine a Gatsby party with magic? Like, it makes it so much more
Ooh.
interesting, and, like, I do
Yeah.
think that you should read The Great Gatsby first because,
Yeah,
um,
I am.
this
Yeah.
is Jordan Baker's perspective as the main character, and it literally goes through scenes from Great Gatsby, but from her perspective and extra stuff, so I definitely think you should read The Great Gatsby first, but then this is just you
That's
just get to
another
go
thing,
so much
like,
deeper in this in the world.
yeah, I'm glad this is forcing me to read The Great Gatsby because in my mind I actually associate Wuthering Heights and Great Gatsby because they're both classics that like I never really wanted to read.
Yeah.
Like they're big classics that everyone talks about, but when I hear like the plot summary or I've seen adaptations of The Great Gatsby and I've never really been very into the story. So
Yeah.
but like I want to read them because I want to know what everybody's talking about. And also, like, I'm excited to read The Chosen and the Beautiful, especially after your review.
I mean, the thing is, I'm really into magical realism. That's like my favorite kind of book. So some people don't like magical realism, but if you are interested, and it doesn't go too deep, it's just like almost like illusion. Sarah, you read it, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
illusions and like, oh, there's like demonic things and like people make deals with the devil and there's like prince underlords and stuff. It's just kind of like that stuff is sprinkled throughout
But
and
it's like
I
it's just
real,
neat.
I
right?
like that.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
it is real, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
it
I
is.
like it when the magic is real. I don't like when the magical
Yeah.
realism is like this kind of fake magic, but you're like, but it's not. I
No,
don't
it
like
is.
that kind
Yeah.
of magical realism.
I mean, you could, I guess, look at it sort of metaphorically. You could, but I'm
Oh,
pretty sure it's
Yeah.
real. Like, and it makes the scenes just feel magical. Like, to me, The Great
Yeah.
Gatsby is just like so extravagant, and like his mansion, and just like who is Gatsby. And I do like The Chosen and the Beautiful because you do get to sort of like connect with who Gatsby is from a different perspective earlier on. And if you've read The Great Gatsby, you'll, yeah, I really love her take on it. I think she's kind of like spot on. But
Yeah. And I
Wow, you
love
guys are
how
making me really
Jordan.
excited to like start
Yeah.
reading it then.
yay.
Because
And
I've
I love.
heard that The Chosen the Beautiful is also like the plot, the author like kept the plot of both like really similar, which
Oh, yeah.
I think reading The Great Gatsby right beforehand and then reading The Chosen the Beautiful is like a good way to do it. It seems.
Yeah,
I,
it
I
Speaking of,
recommend
definitely is.
like
It's like
everyone do
exact
that.
scenes, like word for word
mhm.
what they say to each other. And I thought it was also really interesting so far. I'm not that far into it, but so far I like how Nevo made the main character Jordan Baker not white like the rest of them. And that was because if you've read the book, this isn't a spoiler, but Daisy's husband Tom is into like reading about eugenics and like, oh, the non-white people are going to take us over and all that. BS, and having her in the scene, she's like, "Oh, really, Tom?" You know, and it's just kind of like a nice extra, like, perspective to show how much of a moron he is. And also there's, like, queer rep as well, and stuff, so, like, it's just to take The Great Gatsby, I think it just, like, elevates. So this is, I'm not trying to give high expectations to anyone, this is just exactly the kind of book that I like, because it's going in depth, but in, like, a better way, I think, a lot more interesting way, and
I
I
also
really
really
can't understand why we had to read that in school.
I also really like when you, because you said it follows the plot of The Great Gatsby really closely. And I like, it's so interesting when you know where the book's going and you're just reading, you're like, how is the author going to get there? Or like, you know, like, how are they going to hit this and this and this point? It's just such a like different reading experience.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why
so
I
cool.
like, you know how you were saying, Sarah, you stopped at like an intense part. I did too, because this is the part where, like, in The Great Gatsby, they don't explain what happened, but Gatsby wants to talk to Jordan in private at one of the parties. And I'm always like, I wonder what he talked to her about and stuff. And now you're gonna find out. And I'm like, oh God.
Mm.
But from Nevo's, you know, imagination. But yeah, it's just really interesting. Does anybody
It'll
love The Great
be cool.
Gatsby as I'm trash talking it? I'm so sorry.
I haven't read it yet.
I know some people who it's like their favorite book, but yeah,
Yeah.
I never had to read it for school either. So yeah.
You can also, I suggest that you read The Great Gatsby, but you can also watch the film. The film has Leonardo DiCaprio in it,
Yeah, I haven't seen the
and
movie either. It looks like kind of fun though.
Yeah.
it's like extravagant. It's like Moulin Rouge level, like
Oh, I love Moulin Rouge.
extravagance and just like that kind. What? Sorry?
Oh, I just said I love Moulin Rouge.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Is it faithful to
It's
the book?
The Great Gatsby?
That
Yeah,
Leonardo
like
DiCaprio movie?
I think that it is. I don't remember thinking that it wasn't, but like you obviously get a lot more context. Like the movie is definitely like made to be like a movie and has more of a presentation like take on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw the movie in theaters, I think, when it came out. But it didn't make me want to read the book. So I'm hoping I'll like the book better.
I honestly isn't for Readathon, that's what I'm using this as a prompt for. Or well, oh shoot, I already read it. I can't use it anymore. Darn it. I had
You can
planned for
still use The
Readathon
Chosen
to
and the
be like
Beautiful.
a book you should read that people say, like, you know, like, I don't really want to read The Great Gatsby, but like, because everyone says it's a classic and stuff, so like, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
interesting. It was directed by the same
Yeah, I
person who did
saw that.
Mulan.
Oh,
Ooh,
that
that would
makes
make a
more like
lot
a
of
her known
sense.
Yeah, that
thing.
makes sense.
Right? It makes so much sense, and there's so much more parallels. I would say that I really enjoyed Moulin Rouge quite a bit better than I like the Great Gatsby movie. Like, but Moulin Rouge, I'm super biased because it's one of my favorite movies. I love
I
it.
like the soundtrack for the Great Gatsby movie. I remember putting that on YouTube a lot.
I like it for Moulin Rouge. Like, I
I
love
like
their
that.
soundtrack so
Oh,
much.
that's good too.
I like the Art Deco aesthetic of like the 20s and the Great Gatsby, but I haven't seen the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. I
I've
love
seen the
the
movie but
20s
never read the book.
fashion.
I'm the opposite. Yeah.
I think Shannon said a while ago that there was a 12-week waiting list for
Yeah, I saw
the
that.
Chosen and the Beautiful.
I'm
I
so
believe
sad to
it.
hear that.
I
Yeah.
believe it. Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a brand new
hunted-
release too, right?
Yeah, I hunted through my whole like Barnes and Noble to try to find this book because it was like, yeah, we have a copy here. Search the whole store and find it in the new releases section, of course. Yeah. So
I hate when they do that. I'm like, put it where it
Yeah.
belongs and in the new releases section.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Because I like wasted forever and it's like, oh my God, here it is. And it's not that long actually. It's pretty thin. But the cover is stunning too. Not that that matters, but I mean,
No, it matters. It's fine. We're
I
basic.
love
It matters to me.
I love book club
Obviously.
for making me read new releases because I never read I'm always like at least a couple years behind everyone. I have a really long backlog of books. So it's just such a good feeling being on top of something that just came out or someone's talking about. I'm like, oh yeah, I read that. I've never read the things that people are talking about. I'm almost like at least a few years behind the times.
The good thing about it is, like, when you hear people talking about it, like, you have an opinion. And also because of book club too, like, you really have an opinion because you have to express that opinion as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I try to, in November, I do this for the last few years, at least. I've been doing this like new release November. And so in November, I read a bunch of new releases that have been released throughout the year that I was excited about and didn't get to. So like, I don't know. It helps me to read the books that are new releases because I do the same thing where I'm like, I have so many books to read and the new releases, like, I don't know, I just can't get to them. There's too much.
They just come at you so quickly. Quickly.
Should we tell people
for September?
Speaking of November, should we tell people, like, I know that we'll make an official announcement, but there are a lot of people in the book club here, like what we chose for November, so they can get it ordered? Yeah. Anybody? Go ahead.
We're going to read The Secret History.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that. I haven't been following the channel.
Oh, wait.
Laura's just like waiting to hear with everyone else.
Wow, this is some book club tea
What are we reading in November?
That is awesome.
Wait, that's the top shelf book for November is The Secret History?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be really fun.
Dark Academia in November.
We thought it fit the theme of Dark Academia.
Yeah, when we were talking about Dark Academia after the Maidens, I was like, because you guys were giving Dark Academia recommendations and I haven't read like next to no Dark Academia, so I have like my notebook and it says The Secret History like underlined 4 times, so I'm so excited we're reading it.
I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, speaking of Dark Academia, I was actually going to show you guys. We were just talking about it, and then I got 2 book club books, and they're both Dark Academia in the most recent ones.
Oh,
like
that is,
isn't this cover that one so too. Pretty? And it has
different
edges.
Really Wait, you said where'd you get that from?
I love that pink.
That one is this one is Owl Crate.
Oh, I see.
So it's their edition, and then this one is Illumicrate. So I stopped with the Illumicrate. I'm just getting the books now instead of the whole box because, like, I don't use the stuff all that much, but I want the special edition books. So, and I'm really excited about them. So I was like, that's so perfect because we were just talking about it.
It's so shiny.
I'm going to be getting A Lesson in Vengeance too.
Yes.
The Secret History, like the first. I don't know if it's the first big Shannon asked question. Yeah, I don't know if it's the first big one, but I know it is like one of the big popular ones, and most of us have not read it yet. So we're like, well, book club November.
Yeah, I don't know is that one of the first big Dark Academia? Now I'm curious. Is there a classic Dark Academia? I don't know.
I feel like The Secret History and is one of the early ones. Wait a minute.
I think it is another one that comes bit of an earlier one.
Yeah, it seems like there's been like a resurgence in the genre, like the more popular.
Oh, when did If We Were Villains come out? Is that an older one?
No, that's more recent.
Ish, but it's not new, but it's not like The Secret History.
Yeah. I love If We Were Villains. I love that book so much.
I wrote down If We Were Villains, Bunny, The Secret History, and The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane. I haven't read any of them.
I just want to pull up The Secret History so others will just see what the book looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like a little synopsis? Because Cozy Queen would like to know. There we go.
Okay. I'm gonna read the paragraph. I'm gonna try and do it quickly. Okay. Under the influence of their charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits of an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, they slip gradually from obsession to corruption and betrayal, and at last, inexorably, into evil. Dun, dun,
Wow, that's a
Mm.
dramatic.
I try to do it dramatically.
So, has anyone else read The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt?
I've heard really bad things about it, and like
I
offensive
just
things
like
about it.
actually hated it. So
Yeah.
like it's if you made me make a list of like my least favorite books ever, that one is on it. So I'm so excited for The Secret History, but so nervous because I really did not like her other book. That's by the same author.
Well, this will make great discussion then, because some of us might hate it and some of us might love
I want to love it so bad.
it.
I kind of love it when we're divisive.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
too.
like you were trash talking Emma last night on the reading spread, and I love Emma.
Hey, I tried to be as respectful as I could, but I had to talk about that pork loin, okay? It's just, they talked about it for so long, okay? And that book will always stick with me because of that. But I have fond memories of the discussion we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was our first one.
Exactly. And
It was.
we were very like pretty divisive on it. Some loved it and some
I think Kristen loved it, didn't she? I think she was the one who loved it the most.
I loved
I
it too.
liked Emma as well.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like love.
I still like Pride and Prejudice better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, I still like that better, but I liked Emma
both
too.
of them. When did we decide on The Secret History? I haven't been following.
I messaged you because we were like, because we had said, because I didn't know anyone else wanted to watch it, or I'm sorry, read it. So Stephanie and I were like, buddy read. And then Laura, in the live show, you were like, wait, can I do it too? And so then Sarah joined in. So I was like, well, if most of us want to read it, I asked Kristen, and Kristen said that she would be fine either rereading it or just talking about it. So we just, I asked you, but you didn't respond. So we were just like,
yeah,
okay,
sorry,
I know she wants to read it, so that's fine. Let's just do it.
But I do still want to honor the November nominations. So I think we can maybe stick them in for like
February or something.
Yeah, for like another month or something, because there's some good ones that are in there. And
I need to look. I haven't looked in a while. Ooh, Erin Morgenstern. I love her books. They're worth the wait.
Thank you. My breath. I was holding my breath.
What's it gonna be?
So
I think also some from our first spreadsheet that didn't get voted in, but that are good. I feel like there's a lot of books that we could do that were brought up.
Yeah, I'm totally open to bringing books in that it's like whatever you think would be a good book to read for the month. So Ghost Read says that The Goldfinch gave her an existential crisis.
I did not like that book so bad. Like it was actually painful. I felt like reading it. I'm like, this is the worst ever. And I feel so bad because it like won the Pulitzer Prize and it was like all hyped up. And I'm like, I just can't do it.
Yeah. That makes me want to read it though.
You should read it. You might like it.
I might not. I'd love to know. It's like what it ends up being.
Nothing really happens.
I do want to throw out there, Jessie from Bow Ties and Books, they have quite a bit of content about how offensive that book is, especially towards Black people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I would just like if you're interested in reading it, maybe just like check that out so that you can go into it aware at least of any problems. But yeah, they hated it with a fiery passion.
Well, I agree.
You're on the same. Yeah, you're on the same.
We can chat. Like BT dubs, I hate this book too.
Yeah, so that's why I'm nervous about The Secret History, but like we'll see because it'll give good discussion, I'm sure. I like how we do new releases and also like older,
Yeah.
because it's like interesting. Because then we can talk about like all the different ranges. Oh no, I have to plug in my laptop. I have a cat on me. Hang on. I'm
Oh.
gonna mute and scream for my husband.
I think that like it's interesting because this month is like we do have like a definite like book, but we also have like the like recommended book, which is like The Great Gatsby as well.
Yeah.
That I'm just adding as a recommended now.
Well, and it helps that it's so short. I
It's
feel like
super
it's doable.
short.
They're both like pretty short books.
Yeah, they're
so.
both short. So even added together, I think it's like what, 400 pages, maybe both of them combined or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And it's like one of those, The Great Gatsby is definitely one of those books that just like you can have it like checked off on so many like bucket lists, like reading bucket lists, like
Yeah.
Rory Gilmore challenge, like your life classical like reading challenge, and then you can form an opinion on it.
Shorty September. I wish. The other books that I'm reading are not as short.
Yeah, the Dune that you held up looked pretty thick.
Yeah, it's a chunky one.
I feel like the like title of the book kind of represents like what seeing the book is like. It's just like Dune. Like it's just like a book. Like a big book.
I'm so excited for the movie though. Oh man.
I keep
Has it
watching
come
her
out
trailer
yet?
over and
No,
over.
it's in October.
No, not yet.
It was supposed to come out last year and then it got delayed.
Yeah.
Like I want to go.
Yeah,
in
I've seen the
theaters
trailer.
so bad, but I haven't been to a theater since COVID, and I'm like, do I really want to? I don't know. Like I'm vaccinated, but also,
That's what I'm struggling with. I hope. I mean, but I don't know what they would release it on digitally. I think it'll have
Is
to
it
be a
Disney?
theater or something. I don't think so.
Who's making Dune?
It's a. I know the director, but
I know.
I'm
I've
curious.
heard the original movie that came out in the 60s is like so atrocious it's funny.
Warner
Makes me want to
Brothers.
watch it.
Right? It's Warner Brothers Pictures.
I'm not sure.
I think that's what it is.
Have you ever
Legendary Pictures.
have you ever watched a movie called The Room?
Just Room or The Room?
I think it's called The Room. It's not Room. It's not the one about like an abduction.
Oh,
yeah, no.
I haven't watched The Room, but I read the book. What's The Disaster Artist?
Oh my gosh! Sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody has like watched it or heard about it. Like, okay, so the original like movie, I'm so excited to talk about this because like it's one of those movies that is so bad. It's like a disaster, but it's hilarious to watch. It's absolutely hilarious to watch. I'm so amazed that you like that, Bridget, that you like actually had like watched The Disaster Artist, but had you seen the original movie?
So I haven't seen the original. I've heard it's kind of actually hard to like get copies of it, but like unless you go to a theater or something. But so I was a video production major in college, and I worked at like my college's like video department, and a lot of my coworkers, they had this like cult obsession with The Room, and they would always talk about it and they'd always quote it. And so then last year I read The Disaster Artist, and it was so funny. Like I was laughing out loud reading that book. And it made me really want to go watch the original because it was just so funny.
Yeah, and like me and my partner, like he listened to the audiobook for it. So funny, like so hilarious. And we have like so many inside jokes about it that That just made my heart so happy. Like, I'm so happy to hear that. And
I know.
yes, Ghost Reads, that's the one that's so bad everyone is obsessed with or should be obsessed with.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, my
recommend it
husband and
for
I,
that.
we just moved into a new place and we were joking about like putting up like picture frames that like just have spoons in them and stuff like that.
Amazing. Okay, so do you guys want to do another reading sprint now?
I'm actually going to have to hop off, but this was super fun. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for coming, Stephanie.
Hey, see you guys.
You should message me that Dune book.
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Okay.
Oh, she just left. I was gonna ask Bridget a question. I'm curious, like, about what the top shelf read has been so far for everybody from our book club picks, like our favorite of all of them.
Like the top shelf.
Yeah, because Bridget's read quite a bit of them with us, if not most.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like, can you hear me?
Sorry, I'm looking for my charger too.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
see, it's about that time for all of our laptops.
Yeah, which one was yours? Your favorite top shelf read, Angela?
I have different ones for different reasons. Like,
It's really hard to choose.
Yeah, I
Isn't
had different
it?
ones for different reasons. Like, I really, I thought the most impactful one was Black Girl Unlimited, but it also made me sob my eyes out. So that was like a difficult but good read. And then, but like, as far as like just happy, good feelings, I liked Emma and The House in the Cerulean Sea and The Firekeeper's Daughter. I loved that one too. So
Yeah.
I liked that one too. I really liked the Song of
Crazy.
Achilles. That was probably my favorite, actually, Song of Achilles.
That's definitely one that's so like easy to like fall in love with.
Yeah. When we did the poll thing, people voted for Song of Achilles, I think. It was down to Song of Achilles and the Unhoneymooners. And actually, it was really close. The Song of Achilles won, but it was really close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Bridget? What was your favorite that you read along?
So my favorite by far was Black Girl Unlimited. I've like
really
reread it since we read it together, and magical realism is like a hit or miss for me. Sometimes I really like it, and sometimes I'm like, well, that didn't work. But I thought the way she used it was perfect and like so inspirational. I think I was also just like going through a hard time when I read it, and like it was hard to read, but also the way she used the magical realism to like show her growth, I loved that about it. I've enjoyed a lot of the other books, but that one was by far my favorite.
It found you at the right time.
I really like The Midnight Library as well. That was a good one.
Let's see.
Yeah, so Lisa just asked, where are Kristen and Laura? So Laura's still here, but Stephanie and Kristen, they both had to leave at this point. So we're all busy people for sure. Okay, do you guys want to do another reading sprint?
Yeah, I'm good.
Because I want to, and I'm definitely good to keep reading. So yeah.
Let's see what Gatsby says to Jordan.
You have to know. Okay, I'm going to get the timer up.
You look so cozy, Laura. I love it. I have a hard time reading laying down. How do you do it? You don't ever drop your book on your face?
I also have a hard time not falling asleep. But
do you ever drop it on you?
I probably have before. Luckily, this is a paperback, so.
Nice.
Oh, every, like, Sunday at around, like, 11 o'clock when I read, I always fall asleep. Just, like, every Sunday, I just snooze.
Yeah.
I was worried because I think we were talking one time when it was around that time. Oh no, we were watching something and I was like, I knew you had to go to work the next day and I knew you fell asleep. I was like, should I like try to wake her up just to like make sure you have an alarm set or something? Oh, is your alarms, do they automatically set?
Me?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they automatically set,
Okay,
thankfully.
good. So it's like, I think she just fell asleep and I know she has to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, Ben, his alarm goes off, like, he has, like, 3 alarms in the morning, so
Okay, good.
I always get up, because he always sleeps through the first one, and then the second one, and then the third one. Um, I just get so irritated that I say, like, "Let's get up."
Awesome.
Okay, so let's
Oh,
do this.
Ivy. We got cats everywhere. I love it.
Cats galore. Oh, Olivia, she's just actually, like, peeking around the corner, so she's, like, super excited to do this.
I
Oh,
don't know if I can really show you. I've got one here. It's
Aw,
hard to show. Looks like a seal.
little fluff ball.
yes,
Big
we
fluff
hear
ball.
you.
Our like, when apartment maintenance people come in, they came in and our cats are like long and big. Like they're as big as like little dogs. And the cat ran by, he was like, "That's a big cat."
Okay, guys, so get ready in 3, 2, 1. Let's read. Hello. Every time I like end like a part of this book, like my mind just gets like blown again, and I'm like, I just need to know everything.
Can you remind me of what you're reading again?
Oh yeah, I don't think I really described what it was, but it's called The Night She Disappeared. So basically, if I were to describe this, like what it's about, it's a thriller. Like a young couple disappears just like randomly, like, and they live in sort of like a college, like university town, sort of by like these really cool like old buildings and houses, and it's so like atmospheric and everything like that. So anyway, they go missing, and then a couple comes and moves into where they lived before, like around that sort of area. And then one day, Sophie, the woman that just like moved in with her husband, she goes to her backyard, and there's a pole, and it says dig here. And so she's being given like this clue and all of these little clues about what happened. And you, as you're reading it, you learn something and it goes back to that time point, and then you like learn a little bit more. And so it's just woven in so well. I love it so much. It's just so good. And I'm just like, I'm probably about a third of the way done now, but yeah, it's really, really good. I just really want to say hi to Savannah.
Yeah.
Hi,
Oh, I was on mute.
Savannah.
I was like, Savannah's here.
Oh, we're so happy that you're here. Yes.
You mean that you're third from the end, right? Because you got a lot done last night.
Yeah, I'm a third done from the. Yeah, I have a third remaining, I should
Yeah,
say.
okay, awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Would you guys dig or would you just not?
I would have to. Well, I feel like the proper answer is I would alert the police. If
I
I
would
just
get someone else to dig, but someone who would tell me what they found.
I'd get if I had a dog, I would get my dog to dig.
I was just
my
thinking the
dog
same thing. I'm
just
like, I would not
found this."
dig, but.
And how about you guys? How's your reading going?
I feel like I'm reading this really slowly. It's good, but I'm just like, it takes me a long time to read.
I'm a very, very slow reader. Certain books I'll read faster, like a thriller. Sometimes I'll just like, I just need to know. So like I read quicker than I can process. But generally, like I I tend to take a little bit of time to read, to process everything, and to sort of like absorb it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your book, Bridget?
It's okay. So I was saying how much I loved Black Girl Unlimited because like the way she used magical realism. This is also magical realism, but I don't really like the way it's used. Anyway, I'm just at like a really boring part of the book where I think the family dynamics are really interesting and I like reading about that. But right now there's a war going on in Colombia where the book is set, and it's just kind of like this ongoing, I don't know if it's a real war or not, or if it's based on a real war, but it just seems like it never ends. And I just think it's kind of boring. Like, if this is a real war, I think I'd be more interested in reading like a Wikipedia page about it than like
wow.
it's just boring. I'm having a hard time getting through it. So that's okay.
What is the book again?
Why are you making yourself get through it?
These are all very good questions. So it's 100 Years of Solitude
Oh,
by
right.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like he won a Nobel Prize in literature. I don't know. I guess he's like a big deal or something. I don't think he's alive anymore. But I think this book came out in the 60s and like won a bunch of awards. Anyway, I'm reading it for another book club. And I also like, this is a book that my dad really, really likes, and he recommended it to me. And so I kind of just wanted to see what it was all about. And I don't know, it's okay so far. I'm only halfway through, so I don't want to like say it's one way or the other yet, but I don't think I'm going to give it a very high rating when I'm done.
You don't want to DNF it either?
No, I don't want to DNF it. I feel like I'm too far in now, and I just want to know. I just want to know what it's all about. I just want to say that I read it, I guess.
I didn't
do
know
that
that it had
often.
magical realism in it. Like, I've heard of the book before, but not really more than just recognizing the title. So I didn't know it had magical realism.
Yeah, I
I've
heard.
never even
Yeah,
heard
Savannah
of it.
said it's huge. It is a really, really big book. And yeah, it's a really famous book, but I hadn't heard of it until like last year or something. And anyway, it's kind of boring, so we don't have to talk about it anymore. But
Oh.
How about you, Angela?
But then when you're done, you'll feel so accomplished.
I know. And I'm usually the type of person where like if I'm not enjoying a book, I'll just put it down. But I don't know, for some reason, I just feel like this sense of commitment. Like I am going to finish it, even if it kills me. Gosh darn it, I'm going to do it. So I don't know. I don't know why I feel that way about this book, but I do.
Okay. That'll feel really good when you're done.
Yeah, it'll be like a good, at least, sense of completion. I've been wanting to finish Pride and Prejudice. I'm sorry, guys. Like, but I've wanted to read Pride and Prejudice and like finish Pride and Prejudice like so many times because it's on like just all of these like you have to read it. Everyone talks, you have to read it, you have to read it. I've tried watching the movie, everything, and I can't get through it. But like once I do, and I will finish that book one day, I will finish that book one day. There's going to be a sense of completion, and yeah, I think you'll also feel that way with 100 Years of Solitude.
I agree. Have you tried it on audiobook?
Everything.
Reading
Everything.
Pardon?
Every format, paper, copy,
But you don't like Jane
Kindle.
Austen.
I know, not what I've read.
Yeah, so why are you trying to force yourself to read it if you don't like it?
Because everyone's always on about Mr. Darcy and the whole and I want to know what they're talking about. And like I love You've Got Mail, and I think it's supposed to be like an illusion or it's references it or something like that. So I really want to finish it. And like I've gotten pretty far in it, but it's been incrementally like over about 15 years. Savannah, I'm with you, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you. Shannon, it's true. Sarah, Pride and Prejudice is on all the lists. You can do it.
Netflix? Because we could watch it.
Oh, but
you're like, no, I don't want to.
We could.
Have you seen the movie?
I've tried.
I put the movie on.
Have you seen the mini series with Colin Firth? That is, I just rewatched that with my mom, and we had a great time. It might be easier to digest in 40-minute chunks too.
Yeah, I love both, and the mom is equally annoying in both. Oh my god.
Lisa said, haven't read or watched Pride and Prejudice. I want to watch it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So there are recommendations for what to watch. Shannon, I didn't like it, but I felt more in the know when I read it. See, that's the thing, is I want to be in the know, you know? Same with 100 Years of Solitude. I want to read that too, to read it, to know what it is. And I know, and I've read a Wikipedia article on what it is about. Like, I know it, but I'm just rambling. It's just, but
Yeah.
okay, I feel the same way. I like to read books for the context they have in other books and media. Yeah.
I would say about the shows, like, if you just want to know the story and you like aesthetically pleasing, beautiful backgrounds and scenarios and stuff, I would watch the new movie. Like, is it 2000 or something? The one with
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Yes, I would watch that one because it's just beautiful, just the backgrounds and everything. Like, that is completely a
And the
stunning aesthetic.
soundtrack. Oh,
The
so good.
soundtrack, right? Like, it's so nice. I put it on in the background when I'm playing Animal Crossing, like, all the time, just to have on the movie. But if you really want to, like, watch a lot more detail, the BBC series, because it's a lot longer. But if you does that make sense? Like, if you want the detail and you don't want to read the book, the BBC series is a lot more detailed, and Colin Firth is great. And then if you just want to know the story, a couple hours is the Keira Knightley movie. That's beautiful.
I think I might go with what my girl Shannon is saying. My favorite version was Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I think I got to do that. I think I got to try that.
You should.
So,
Yeah, I like the movie.
Yeah.
I like the series and the movie.
Okay, so Thrifty.
Daughter of Smoke and Bone. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, I just want to get to what Thrifty had mentioned. So I need help with selecting my next read. I like to have a minimum of one physical book and one audiobook. So leave us a comment and say what your favorite like genre is, and maybe like what the last book that you've read that you've enjoyed.
Well, they asked next.
Oh,
The
right.
Hunger Games, or have you read The Hunger Games before or no?
Love The Hunger Games.
Because if you haven't read The Hunger Games, I would say The Hunger Games. But if you've already read it and it's a reread, maybe the other one if it's new to you.
Yeah, I'd say I think I recommend The Hunger Games.
Yeah, that one's always a good one. And I haven't heard of the other one before. Have you?
Me neither.
Ray Piano, hey, just joining in. Hi, thank you for coming. I'll be reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone. Nice. Thrifty, what books do you want us to pick from? Okay, so those two.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed The Hunger Games.
Everybody's voting Hunger Games.
It's pretty fun.
I know. I feel like you can't go wrong with it, but I want to look up this other book.
Lisa, that's the one I've been wanting to watch with Kiera. Didn't even know there was another movie.
It's a mini-series. It's a BBC mini-series. So it's on Hulu if you have that. At least in the US, it's on Hulu. Last time I was checking on it. But it's a mini-series, so it's like hours long. So that's why I'm saying like it's a lot more detailed, and it really is faithful to the book. But yeah, the Keira Knightley one is just beautiful.
Okay, Jessa, The Hunger Games. Savannah, read The Hunger Games. Get on that train.
Yeah, it looks like the other one is it's a memoir from a Navy SEAL. The right kind of crazy.
Very different option.
Very different.
I want to read The Hunger Games too, so I'm a vote for that. Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder what it would be like reading The Hunger Games as an adult, now that I think about it.
Were you not an adult?
No, I was
No, I guess
definitely
I was.
a child like a teenager when I read it.
I think I was in my early 20s, so I guess that is an adult, but I don't think of it as an adult yet.
I'm pretty sure I read it very soon after it came out, just somehow.
I think I read it when I was about 20, so I guess a young adult. I think Hunger Games wins. Yeah.
No.
Oh, what's happening?
When did the movies come? I actually think I saw the movies when I was in my early 20s, so maybe I did read the books younger.
You know, when I saw the movie, like the movies, I remember really liking them, and I have one on DVD, and I tried to watch it again, and I couldn't even watch it. I don't know why. I just like I actually turned it off, and I don't do that. I was like, oh, The Hunger Games will be a nice, comforting thing to watch, and there were just too many lines that made me cringe, and then I turned it off.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I was like, I don't want to shatter my memories of this, so I'm gonna leave it.
Did you
Yeah,
like
I remember
the?
really liking the movies too, but
Mm.
now I'm scared to go back and rewatch them. I can see how like it's quoted so many times that maybe you're kind of like, but yeah, I remember them being really good.
Yeah, I think that was it a little bit. That yeah, because I remember I really liked the way that they filmed it and like how it was kind of like as if the camera was from her perspective at the start, and like I liked their interpretation of District 12 and the Capitol and everything. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just the lines are so so well known now that they sound cliche to me. Yeah.
Actually, the first Hunger Games movie, I remember like kind of being disappointed, but I get kind of like that with reading books and then movies. But I actually liked Catching Fire more than I thought I would, like the movie version of it. And yeah, the third book wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of, but I think that the first book is just magic. It's fire.
Yeah, the first book could work as a standalone.
I think I I think it actually could. Like maybe I just felt like I didn't really need the second or the third. Well, but
I remember thinking that maybe she wrote it as a standalone, but then it was so successful that she continued, but I don't know if that's true or not. I just remember wondering if that were the case. But I liked the other ones too.
Yeah.
But they were definitely
I thought
not
they were some
standalone.
of the best book to film adaptations.
Best book to film adaptations?
Yeah, so Savannah said she thought that they were some of the best book to film adaptations.
Yeah, they were pretty accurate.
Yeah, Shannon says, I love the art direction and costuming in The Hunger Games. I finally watched the whole series last year. It's very intense.
You know, one book series that I could not read, even I tried to read it as a teenager and I couldn't read, or like what's the Divergent series, but I watched the movie and I remember kind of liking it, but I couldn't, like, it's almost always the other way for me, but I couldn't read the books. So it's usually the other way. It's usually like the movie's disappointing for me.
Interesting.
Honestly, I'm a very big seasonal person, but I feel like you could read The Hunger Games any time of year.
I totally agree with that.
I feel like it would be good in summer, spring, fall, winter. Yeah, like it really just depends on when you have time to read it. Because I don't think me personally, my answer is that anytime it works.
Yeah, I agree. I think I associate it with the summertime because that's when I first read it, was in the summer. But yeah, I think you could read it like any time of year and it'd be good.
Yeah, because I don't really feel like with the Hunger Games there isn't really like a seasonal vibe in it. Yeah. Let's see. I want to catch up. Yeah, so I think either is okay. Okay, Hunger Games it is. I have a bit left to my current read, and then I'm off to the Hunger Games. Yeah.
I hope you love it.
I hope you like it. Yeah, good luck. And I'm curious, have you had any spoilers since it's been out for so long? Like, do you know anything that happens, or is this completely new to you?
Yeah, I'm curious too. Oh gosh, Savannah. The third is my fave. Okay, we'll need to continue this further at some point and discuss. Savannah, don't at me, Laura. I love them. Divergent was horrible. I haven't gotten into Divergent.
Me neither. I think my time has passed with that stuff. I never got into it when I was younger, and I'm just like, it is what it is.
It's kind of how I feel too.
Oh,
Lisa,
I do
I got-
have one thing to finish watching. I was watching I've never read the books, but they're kind of similar. The Maze Runner series. I have the last movie left. I've seen the movies. Those were good. I love
like
Dylan
those
O'Brien.
as well.
That's my Styles from
I
Teen Wolf.
have to head out.
Okay.
Wow, zero knowledge.
Well,
ooh, that's gonna be so fun.
Well, thanks for joining, Laura.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
Thank you. Sorry to leave so abruptly.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
I got such a winter and fall vibe from the movie. So Thrifty, I have zero knowledge on the Hunger Games.
Gonna be
no
great.
spoilers, please. That's the best way to go into it, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Maze Runner. I again didn't read the books, but I watched the movies because I love Dylan O'Brien, and immediately were really interesting. Although I felt like 1 and 2 were so different, very very different. And now I own the third one, but I haven't watched it yet. I need to get on that.
Yeah, I think I missed the Maze Runner as well.
Yeah, I missed it, but it was decent. It's been decent so far. I'm not done yet.
Okay, so at this point, do you guys want to do another reading sprint?
I'm down. It's up to.
Yep.
No, you guys should totally continue. But I have to go. My parents just got here, so I think I was gonna go hang out with them. But
you just want to break from that book.
This is so fun. I loved it. It was the perfect thing to do for birthday.
Oh, that's
what'd
so
you
great.
say?
I said you just want to break from that book, don't you?
It's true. I do. I'm trying to read like a little bit every day, and anyway. Yeah, you're right. I do want to break from that book.
That would probably be good. All right. Well, it was so much fun having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll definitely do more in the future.
For sure. See you guys.
See ya. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't listen to Savannah. She's only saying this because she didn't like the Hungers that were books. Everyone's taste is different.
Which one?
I'm just reading everybody's comments.
So Shannon said third Maze Runner film is good. I read first 2 books but decided to watch the third movie and felt complete.
Good. That's what I like, that when you finish it and you're just like, okay, that was a time. That worked out.
But I think my next read is going to be Midnight Sun. What is Midnight Sun?
Oh, I think that's the... So
is that Twilight?
It's the new one. Like the same way that Suzanne Collins wrote that other book all of a sudden from President Snow's perspective. Also, the person who wrote Twilight recently wrote a book. It's literally, as far as I remember hearing, Twilight, but from Edward's perspective instead of Bella's. So the same book, just from a different person's perspective, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard about that. Like, and I've seen it all over Bookstagram as well.
Interesting.
Like, it's a very beautiful cover.
It says, I want to read something like those books. I've read Ready Player One. Do you have any Hunger Games or Divergent type book recommendations? Ready Player One, I really liked it, but it also has a lot of like 80s references. If you liked those movies and that kind of time period, you'll especially love Ready Player One because of all the references. It's also, if you like games, like video games, also really kind of up your alley. But I think anyone could read Ready Player One and enjoy it.
That's I tried to read it. I think I just put it down and never got back to it.
Yeah. I didn't like it as much as I think some people do because, like I said, like I felt like a lot of it went over my head. Like I think I would like it a lot more if I loved the 80s and like video games more, but it's still an interesting concept. And I think it's quite, I don't know, it could potentially be reality, you know, where the real world is garbage. So everyone just lives in virtual worlds. And like, I'm like, ooh, that's a little on the nose for the world we live in now.
That's a little intense,
I'm
but
like,
also
yeah,
interesting.
I could see that happening.
Right?
And then I can't, Hunger Games or Divergent type book recommendations. What are you looking for in it? Like, is it like the dystopia part or like,
Yeah.
because those are some of the big dystopian ones that I remember hearing about that are YA.
Savannah,
Ooh.
all in good fun. I respect everyone's taste. Yes.
Sarah, we got one for you about Mexican Gothic.
Oh, I'm not there yet. One sec.
Sorry, I'm reading fast.
Midnight Sun is Twilight from Edward's perspective, right? Yes. It's written for years, but it was just published last year. Do you have any similar book recommendations to Mexican Gothic by any chance? I love that book. Oh my gosh. I love that book as well. It's just so good. I have never read a book before like Mexican Gothic. I haven't. But in October, we're going to read The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. And that's going to be for our book club, the Top Shelf Society. And I'm getting similar vibes from it, but I have not read it. I don't know if it's anywhere similar to it. But yeah, it depends sort of what you liked about Mexican Gothic.
That's what
I
I was gonna
loved
ask,
everything,
too.
but there's like the haunted house aspect. There's the like creepy atmospheric sort of aspect of it as well. There's like social commentary. There's just so many things, and it's so strange and it's so good. Lisa, did they do a movie with Player One? Do you know if they did?
It was in my opinion, it was terrible. It was nothing like, I mean, it starts out like the book, but then it just is not really much like it at all. And it was fun. I get like, if I'm such a stickler for things like being faithful to the plot, so like
Same.
If you didn't read the book, like I could see how you would like really have a good time with it, especially if you like video games. But I thought the book was way better. Let me put it this way: I fell asleep like before the ending, and I'm a huge like I love to watch movies and see the end and stuff, and I never even went back and rewatched it because that's how much I didn't like it.
Savannah, so this is in reference to Mexican Gothic and what's similar to it. I believe, Savannah, is that right? So definitely read The Parasite by Arthur Conan Doyle. Okay. I am just going to bear with me for a second. I am going to go to my Goodreads.
Yeah, let me look up too, because they answered that games was what they were looking for. So I have such a bad memory. I'm just going to check through.
So The Parasite by Arthur
Conan Doyle wrote Sherlock Holmes, right? Am I coming out of nowhere with this?
I actually don't know. I don't know. I feel like I should know. So now that's added. Twilight is also on my TBR. Yeah, I read that book years and years ago.
Well, bye, Shannon. Thank you for coming.
Oh, bye, Shannon. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Litza. I'm like that too, Angela. I was so mad about the way they did the 3rd and 4th Harry Potter because of how much they left out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, Ready Player One isn't even that long of a book for them to change it. It wasn't even that they left things out. They actually seemed to change things too, and I was confused as to why. I'm sure they had a reason. Maybe it was more fun that way or something, but like it didn't work for me. But if it, I mean, that's just my one opinion. So the strangeness.
I love this. Okay, so Ray says, I love the strangeness of the whole book and the creepy gothic atmosphere that Mexican Gothic gave. I also love the style it is written in. So one thing I can say for sure is that I have read one other book by Sofia Moreno Garcia, and I read Untamed Shore, and I will say that that book is more of a crime book, so it doesn't like fit that atmosphere, but it's still like a really good book. I really enjoyed it. Definitely like around 4 stars out of 5, I would say. But yeah, I can't. Yeah, other than I can't really think of a book that can really compare to Mexican Gothic. It's just it's so.
I'm so lucky.
I'm still obviously just like so happy about it. It's just so beautiful too.
I mean, I think, I don't know. Well, I guess the strangeness, creepy gothic atmosphere. I didn't really like this book, but The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware does have that like old gothic creepiness. Like you feel like there's stuff going on and you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
I'm just scrolling through my Goodreads because I have the worst memory. I mean, I've only read Rebecca, but gothic vibes with Daphne du Maurier. I think she was one of like the original gothic authors. Rebecca is like a great one. There's nothing. Oh, I don't want to say that. So you know how Mexican Gothic has a lot of paranormal elements that you're like, what is going on here? Is this real? Is it not real and stuff? It doesn't. Not all these books have that element to it, but there is like the Gothic vibe and the strangeness. Yeah, I love those books too. I wish there were more like creepy house manners. Like those are the best. That's why I love Hill House and Bly Manor.
Yeah, so Angela and I actually just did like a Netflix party, and we literally like we went through what I always say the wrong name of the show because what is it? The Haunting
of Hill House.
Or
yeah.
Hill House.
No, The Haunting of Hill House. Yeah.
Oh, The Haunting of Hill House.
A lot of people just say Hill House. Yeah, it's fine.
Because I always think of the original book, but like we literally went through it and absolutely like, oh, I just love it so much. I can't even like, I don't even know like if a rating would be like sufficient for it. It's just so good. It's like a necessary, compulsory like watch around this time of year. Yeah. I would say so.
But be prepared to clear your schedule because like once you watch an episode, everyone basically you just want to know what's going to happen next. So we watched, how many hours was that? That was like 8 hours or something in 2 days.
Literally, we just like watched it and just like loved it, and yeah, it's really really good. And I definitely recommend Blind Manor as well.
I can't find any games. I'm trying so hard. I'm sorry. The only game thing I can think of is like that one Harry Potter, but I'm not going to recommend that for reasons. But let's see.
Savannah, I can write y'all a list of Gothic terror books.
Please do. This is
Please
the
do.
perfect time of year for that.
Please do. I need to know all of these. Like Gothic terror, that just sounds so good.
Okay, so this one, I don't know that you call it Gothic, but it is kind of horror. I loved The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Laval.
Okay.
This is the cover. It is basically, what was his name? What was that really famous writer of horror, but was super racist?
Super racist? I don't know.
Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft.
Okay.
So he's the one who did like Cthulhu and everything, right?
Am
I alone here? I'm sorry. Okay.
No, I haven't read, but yeah.
Yeah. So H.P. Lovecraft was one of the like humongously famous, like Edgar Allan Poe's poems and stuff. Like he's one of the original like horror writers. But yeah, what was quite racist in them. And this book took the perspective of a Black main character, and the author is Black too. And it just took it from his perspective in one of the stories. And like, it was so fascinating and atmospheric, and it is like kind of horror and strange. So like, it doesn't take place in a house, but there is a house that they go to that is very strange. It's basically says people move to New York looking for magic, and nothing will convince them it isn't there. Charles Thomas Tester hustles to put food on the table, keep the roof over his father's head, from Harlem to Flushing Meadows to Red Hook. He knows what magic a suit can cast, the invisibility a guitar case can provide, and the curse written on his skin that attracts the eye of wealthy white folks and their cops. But when he delivers an occult tome to a reclusive sorceress in the heart of Queens, Tom opens a door to a deeper realm of magic and earns the attention of things best left sleeping. A storm that might swallow the world is building in Brooklyn. Will Black Tom live to see it break?
Ooh, that sounds really good.
And it's not super long either. It's the audiobook is wonderful. It's 150 pages. Audiobook was good too, and it did kind of like, I preferred it over Mexican Gothic, to be honest. It just was a really interesting, strange, atmospheric story.
I forget, was Mexican Gothic a top shelf read or no?
For me? No, sorry, no.
I think I was the only one that said it was.
I mean, it was one of those things where like I thought it had so much potential, and there were things about it that I liked, but I just thought that the writing was a little lacking. I wanted it
to be more.
Yeah. And I was okay with that. The weirdness too, because I love that stuff, but it was not like quite there for me.
So Ray, have you read the newest book by the same author, I think it's called Velvet is the Night, but I might be wrong, but I really do want to read it like as soon as I can get to it, for sure. I will definitely read it. And yeah, Untamed Shore is also very, very good.
By who?
Sylvia
Moreno Garcia.
My brain just like died. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even finding that. Interesting. I bought The Beautiful Ones to read. I haven't read it yet though.
I want to. Lisa, I love the Twilight books, so I'm having high expectations for Midnight Sun. I hope you enjoy it. I wish I could say how it was, but I cannot. Savannah had to go.
Oh.
Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Bye, if you're there still.
Yes.
Bye. And I would love that list of Gothic terror books. That would be amazing.
Yes. Yeah, that's always handy to do, to go back to the books or to go back to Goodreads and to see like what is actually like recommended if you've liked a certain book.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I would like to do another reading sprint if
Yeah,
you're
we're
up
both
for
at kind of
it.
spots in our book that are yeah.
Yes.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
What about everybody
And
else?
yeah, so if you guys want to join us, just grab your book. I'll get a timer going and we can still continue reading. Okay, so I'm going to get that up for us.
I'm curious what everybody's most excited to read with horror this year. If anyone's going to be reading it for spooky season.
Let me write that as a banner. Okay, so could you say that again?
Because we were just talking about like Mexican Gothic and scary stuff. I'm curious if anybody is most excited to read anything horror for this time of year. Like any horror books that people are really excited for, or thriller or anything like that. How about this? There you go. Perfect. Like what's your like most excited spooky season books?
Michelle, yay, this is motivating me to read. Yes.
Sunday's a good reading day.
Sunday is a really good reading catch-up day. And Saturday too can be as well. Okay, so I'm going to get the timer ready and I'm just going to do like a little countdown. And grab your books, grab your cats, drink some water. 3, 2, 1, and start. So how'd it go?
Good. I stopped a little early, so I was at a good spot.
Oh, yeah, that happens during these sprints.
Are you finding all the drama now that you're towards the end?
Sorry?
Are you getting all the drama now that you're towards the end of your thriller?
It's like, there's still just like a little bit that I just like have to know now. I would say I have maybe like less than a quarter left of the book.
So we know what you're going to be doing tonight.
Yeah, and are you still enjoying it?
Yeah, it's getting a little slower with all the backstory now.
Mm-hmm.
But and because I am who I am, I want more about the magical things of the world, but I'm still really interested in where it's going to go because I'm curious how Jordan's story is going to tie in with the ending of Great Gatsby.
So just to remind everyone, I'm reading The Night She Disappeared, which is a thriller, and Angela is reading The Chosen and the Beautiful.
I just dropped everything. Yeah, what she said.
Which is a Great Gatsby retelling. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let us know how your reading went. So I had posed a question, which was asking, I think it was, what do you recommend for this type, or what do you want to read at this time of year? Something along those lines. What are you most excited to read about this time of year? And so Lisa said, I'm actually looking for one if you have any recommendations.
Of one that we have read or we haven't read yet?
Good question. I recommend this one. Mexican Gothic. It's just, I just love it. It's definitely spooky. Very spooky and very atmospheric.
I'm going to be reading for this time of year, the spooky, The Dead in the Dark and House of Hollow for what I'm going to be reading that I haven't read yet, but I've heard people say that it's really, both of them are like paranormal or creepy vibes, which is my favorite for this time of year.
Yeah, I love anything paranormal. Not a book recommendation, but oh my gosh, Angela, what is the name of their channel again? The Ghost Hunters.
Oh, BuzzFeed Unsolved.
BuzzFeed Unsolved, is that the one with Shane and Ryan?
Oh, they're on their last season of BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural, and it's going to premiere soon. But it's their last season, but go back and rewatch BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural and True Crime. I just prefer Supernatural because I think it's funny when they go to places.
Are they still going to do the True Crime?
Nope. Well, they created their own. So you know how BuzzFeed is its own company?
Yeah.
They created their own with Stephen Lim called Watcher. Mm-hmm. So they have their own channel. And so basically Shane and Ryan are just going onto their own channel with Stephen. But I don't think they're going to be able to probably do the same series because I think BuzzFeed probably has it kind of copyrighted or something. But we get one more BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural season coming up.
Oh, it's like, it's so exciting. Like every time I keep wanting to see the real ghosts. Like I keep just looking for them, and I'm like, if I just keep watching, there's going to be one day, and then Shane's going to be like, "Oh my gosh, I was wrong."
No. It just makes me laugh at Ryan. It's like, for anyone that doesn't watch the show, Ryan believes in the paranormal very much, and Shane doesn't at all. And so the duality of both of them going and investigating like haunted places, like it's my favorite because their humor is fantastic, and it just makes me laugh because anytime there's any sound, Ryan is like, "That was a ghost. Like, well, okay.
It could have been literally any other explanation.
It
It probably is.
It's funny. Yeah, I agree with you. Those are always great ones to watch.
Thank you
Man,
for
so
joining
many
us
people
again.
read so much. Good job, everybody. Holy cow.
Okay, Charmaine, I came in late, so I only read about 19 minutes. I got through 2 chapters or so. That's great. I'm so happy to hear that.
Making any progress is great.
It is. 14 pages, 28 pages, 26. Ooh, House of Hollow.
See, I'm not going to lie. You're the one who is making me read this because I've heard like mixed reviews from some people. Some people love it and some people were meh about it. But it's because of you, Em, that I am going to definitely read it because you and I have really similar tastes.
Okay, Charmaine. This time of year, I want to read cozy classics and romances and thrillers, especially YA murder mysteries. I recommend A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. And I've heard of this. Definitely
I've heard good
have.
things too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. And I think it's like a compulsory read at some point.
Isn't that funny how it's the combination of murder mysteries and then classics and romances?
Yes.
I like that.
It? Like It, the book?
Oh, gosh. I've read
Like
that.
the,
I've
like
read
the
that
book?
twice, actually.
Oh, so you've read it twice. Is it worth getting through the first time? Because it's an investment. Like, that's a book.
It's a book. I think it depends on if you read Stephen King or not. Because he has a very specific writing style. But the thing is, I grew up reading him. I read him way younger than I should have. So I kind of grew up with his writing and writing style. So for me, when I was a teenager, I read it and it blew my mind because it has such detailed, intricate world building and stories that you follow from all these different kids and then them as grown-ups. Like in the book, I know that they now have movies about it. In the book, you like alternate between them as kids and them as adults. And it's a big investment, but like for me, it just flew by because you're just really getting to know their backstories, and then you're always waiting for the next horrifying thing to happen. Mm-hmm. And when I was a teenager, that and The Shining were the only books that like actually truly petrified me.
I'm so petrified to read The Shining.
As an adult, it's not as scary, but when I was younger, it was really scary for me.
The concept of it is so scary.
Yeah. It's not much like the Stanley Kubrick movie. I know that everyone loves it with Jack Nicholson, and I think he did a great job in it, but it is a bit different from that. It's a lot, like, it's not action-packed that much. Like, it's all of Stephen King's books are very slow, and he gives you details that you are like, why did I need to know that? But it still like helps you get to know the characters and their backstories more and get in their minds. So for The Shining, it's like a slow build. That's how I would describe it. Like, you start and you're like, oh yeah, everything's fine. And then creepy things start to happen. You're like, is everything fine? And then stuff like goes down. You're like, oh, it's not fine. Nope. So it's a very long, slow build. So I guess to answer your question about it, if you keep in mind that there are some things that are not necessarily politically correct, and there's especially a particular scene everyone talks about that is, I can't even say what it is because it's a spoiler, but it's not great. It's really not good at all. It's not perfect, but it's terrifying, and you get into so much detail in this town. So I recommend it just to read once in your life, but yeah, just be prepared to be freaked out by it.
That movie. Okay, so I remember being around 5 or 6 years old or something like that. And I was at like a family gathering, and then all the older kids sort of were like watching that movie. And
Which
I just
one?
remember It.
It. Oh my gosh.
And I remember being like, just like little, just being like, "Ooh, what is this movie about? It's scary." Well, it can't be that scary. So then I go and start watching it, and I just remember just being like, and so spiders,
Yeah.
I'm actually not scared of spiders from it, but clowns.
Yeah. And
Oh
a lot
my
of people don't realize
gosh.
that, because it's called Pennywise, right? Pennywise turns into what you're most afraid of. So it's not
Yes.
just a clown. There's a lot of things that you deal with in the book. And I don't remember in the movie. I think they did that a little bit in the movie, but like it'll hit many fears. If you, like stuff you didn't even know could be scary. You're like, oh, that's scary.
Horror season for you. So many horror books lined up this month and next. Yes. Yeah, just bring on those sort of scary vibes.
Oh yeah.
So Thrifty, I don't have a certain genre that I desire to read throughout spooky season. I'm trying to read my physical books that are on my TBR. Good.
Yes,
That's a
good.
really productive mindset to have. I have more TBR books in storage that I want to get to also.
That'll feel really good starting the end of the next, or starting next year too, with having focused on your TBR, because then you can kind of start fresh with what you want to focus on.
Yeah, I really, yeah, I think a physical TBR is something to get down. My digital TBR, like, I don't think I'm ever going to get to all of those 800 or so books.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's way too many.
Shelf space.
I also have, so Charmaine, I also have a lot of physical books on my TBR too. I ran out of shelf space. Yes.
That happens.
And then somehow you have to either get another shelf or stack them on the floor to the ceiling.
Or unhaul, but that hurts.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I actually want to read it.
Yeah. I will say, like I said, don't hold me responsible for the not good stuff in it. There are some problematic things, but if you want to be creeped out, that and The Shining like creeped me out more than anything I ever read. It's really messed up. Really messed up.
Yeah, that's the part for me, the how thick it is, right?
Yeah.
But if there's ever like a readathon, like an it readathon, where you just can kind of just read it to every time I say it now, like I keep thinking, like I keep laughing to myself in my head. But if there is ever like a readathon or something like that to read it, I'll try and do it. I'll put stuff aside and read it. There's no other way I'm probably going to.
Well, Zoe, do you remember
Exactly.
Read by Zoe? Was that her handle?
Yes.
She did it like in a whole day. I mean, I think the audiobook was on like super high speed, but like she listened to it in like 24 hours straight. But I wouldn't recommend that. You kind of got to process it and sit with the fear and enjoy it. But yeah, I would say like I had it with a job that had quite a bit of downtime, and I had bought it as an ebook on my phone. So I would just like read a few chapters here and there, and I went through it like pretty quick. The only downside is like you want to keep reading, but it's not too bad to have it on your phone, because whenever you have downtime, you can just like hop on and read another couple chapters.
Yeah. That video that you're referring to by Read by Zoe is like one of my, it's like a classic like booktube like video.
All of her 24-hour readathons. I miss her so much. I hope that she's excelling in life and being amazing. I miss her so much.
I know, she is amazing. So if you all don't know who we're referring to, you probably do. But Read by Zoe, she's just a complete gem and just a really wonderful booktuber.
Yeah. And if you like 24-hour readathons, I want to say, like, because this was beginning of booktube times, I feel like she was almost one of the first people that did it, that like actually stayed up for whole 24 hours.
She
Like,
was true to it.
I couldn't believe it. I like was tired just watching some of them. But I still go back sometimes, like her Christmas one and Halloween ones, like I'll still go back and rewatch them. They're great.
Same, and I'll go back and read some of like or watch some of her like very, very early ones too. Her stuff is just so watchable. It's just wonderful. I think that she's one of the first two that like before like I knew that booktube was a thing. Like I saw some booktubers, I guess, but I didn't really know it was like a thing until I started to watch her videos and I was like, a whole new world. Sometimes series and books make me not want to read. They can be so intimidating for me. Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand that. Totally get that.
Yeah. I will say another like way to think about it though is read other books at the same time. So if you just want to kind of like have options, but instead of being intimidated by it, sometimes it's nice to think about it as something that you can always return to, that you know the story for, if that makes sense. Like for example, I read The Stand, which is also like over 1,000 pages of Stephen King, like during a whole winter. And I read other books at the same time, but it was just kind of nice, like sometimes that you could just like pop back into the world really quick and like you knew what the story was and how it was going to progress. And it was almost like comforting to have. And it took a while to get through. So it was just kind of like when it ended, I almost like felt a big loss because I didn't have that world to pop into anymore. So maybe, I don't know if that could help, like maybe try a mental shift to think like, oh, I have this book that I get to be in the world for a long period of time.
Yes, I definitely did that approach. I read A Little Life and A Promised Land by Barack Obama. Both were like 700 to 800 pages. And I read a little bit each night and kind of had that sort of mindset.
Like comfort almost.
Yeah, I mean, A Little Life is not like a comforting book, but there are parts of it that actually really are. So,
well, neither is The Stand, for the record. That's about like a pandemic and dystopia. But no, it's not. I don't mean comforting like the world, but I mean like just that, like you know what's there for you waiting.
Like comforting to return to.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer listening to thrillers on audiobook or reading them in a physical book format? For me, it depends on the narrator. Like if for Mexican Gothic, I listened to the narrator and really loved it. Like just totally loved it. And sometimes what I'll do too is a lot of the times when I have a physical book, I'll also read the audiobook because otherwise I feel like I'm missing out for some reason. Like I always want to have some sort of knowledge or perspective of what the narrator is like. So I'll usually go to Libby and try to get the audiobook like a little bit before reading the actual book. But what about you?
Honestly, I don't listen to that many audiobooks because I'm really picky about narrators. Like a voice will ruin a book for me. So I do the same thing. I'll like check it out and listen to the sample. And if I like the voice, then I might. But I noticed, like, for example, I listened to The Echo Wife on audio when I was, as we're talking about, building a second bookshelf because I ran out of space, and I just listened to it like the whole day. So I think like thrillers are kind of hard to listen to on audio because you want to keep going, you know? So it's like I have to be sure that I have the time if I get like really interested in the plot. But I think I kind of just usually prefer physical for the most part.
Okay, I do have a recommendation because I did do this with Mexican Gothic. Sorry, I keep just talking about this book and
this is your brand. Every time I think of you, I think of Mexican Gothic. And A Little Life and Great Expectations.
Yeah, those are top 3 gems of books, I would say. So with this one, I recommend what I did. Okay. So I had candles going.
Ooh.
I was completely alone. I wouldn't say kick your partner out, but I
I
was
got to read, honey. Get out of
completely.
here.
I have to read. I need atmosphere. Get out of here. I don't recommend that. But I put it like had my candles on and I was alone and I was just like listening to the audiobook and I just kind of got into this like creepy vibe where I was just like, oh my gosh, I just felt like there were like potentially ghosts and stuff all around me and I just wanted to like stop sometimes because I got a little bit scared, but it just made it so cool. Like yeah, it was like a whole nother level of mood
Yes.
reading. I do have a vlog about it. Like there was weird stuff that was like happening the day that I was like listening to this too. Like my camera broke and I don't break things. Like I don't break things and it just like my camera broke and I had to get a new one and it was just like what the heck is happening. So yeah, if you can like bring on that sort of spooky atmosphere, I say do it. Just try it once. Just try it once. And if it gets too
Yeah.
scary, you can always stop and blow out your candles and turn on the light and yeah, but I recommend doing that.
Ditto. I love that too.
So this comment, I want to see. I do that with the Harry Potter series when I decide to reread it in English. At first, I wanted to read it all one after the other, but I ended up reading a few books in between each or alongside. Yeah, I think that's a great approach too. Never listen to audiobooks. I never used to. Putting Mexican Gothic on my fall TBR now.
There you go. You're an influencer. I was just gonna say because you didn't know about it either. I was just gonna throw out there, if you're interested in audiobooks or you want to try to get more books read in your month, there are waterproof or water resistant headphones that are like the ones that I got are like under $30 on Amazon. And I will put one in and then you can listen to an audiobook in the shower. And, you know, you take your shower and then afterwards, you know, you put lotion on, do all that stuff and get ready and everything. And so by the time you're done, like you've read quite a bit of your book and then you usually just keep listening to it as you go about getting ready or eating and stuff. So like that in the shower is a really like nice way to get some more reading done if you can find a narrator you like. Just throwing that out there in case you didn't know those existed.
Yeah, and I think that's also good too if you like baths as well too.
Baths, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a really good tip because sometimes you want to listen to an audiobook and you want to keep going through it as if nothing can stop me. And so if you have those like waterproof headphones, really nothing can stop you.
I cannot imagine, like people who read books in the tub, I'm so scared you're going to drop it in the water.
I used to do that. I ruined so many books and I never learned. I did. And I used to read all the Archie comics.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
I had so many of the Archie comics, like even going back to like, I don't know, like the 60s or whenever they first started coming out. And yeah, so I ended up with a whole bunch of wobbly looking books.
Oh.
A narrator makes or breaks an audiobook. I love to have both the audio and physical book. The reading can continue when I shower, cook, working, driving on a walk. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it gets so busy, but you need to get in your reading.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely.
And that time's going to pass anyway, so might as well pass it in a book.
Exactly. So Angela, do you need to go or are you still good for one more?
I gotta make dinner.
I think I should probably too, to be honest.
Okay, craving some enchiladas.
Charmaine, genius idea about listening to audiobooks in the shower. Also love Archie comics too. They're classics. Definitely. I'm actually reading Mexican Gothic next month, reading The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina this month for Latinx Book Club. And that is actually our Top Shelf Society Book Club October pick.
Yeah.
And we're like, I'm so excited. And we actually, should I say it? Yeah, I'll say it.
Say it.
So we'll actually have the author with us for our book club live meeting, and I'm so thrilled about that. Yeah. So just as a plug, The Chosen and the Beautiful, our September book club pick for this month, and our October book club pick, we have the authors attending the live shows for both of them. So we're really happy about that. I'm very excited. Okay. So my boyfriend has a portable speaker that goes really loud so I can listen to podcasts while I'm in the shower. Maybe I should listen to audiobooks instead.
Win-win
I mean, if
either
you want to
way.
get through that TBR,
Yeah.
that'll definitely help. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap it up here. Thank you all, and thank you, Angela, for sticking with me this whole time.
No, we both got good books we're going through here.
And it was just so lovely to spend today with you guys. Yeah. So we're definitely going to do more of these in the future. I can definitely see that happening because it's definitely a lot of fun and really motivating to get through.
Especially with all these readathons at the end of the year. Yeah, I had a portable speaker, but I've lived in apartments and I realized how loud it is for my. And sometimes, certain audiobooks, especially if it's like a mystery thriller, you're like, oh, I don't think I want people to know this. I'm listening to this. That's why I like the headphones better because I don't have to worry about my neighbors overhearing my audiobooks.
Yeah, and some books in particular, are good to listen to.
They'd be like, what is this person?
All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to everybody and reading.
Yeah, so I'll definitely post on Instagram whenever we do another one in the future. All right. Have a good Sunday, everyone.
Bye. Happy Sunday.
Bye.